This is a real good story about Drew, a real United Airlines customer.
After almost 4 years of treatments, I was finally cancer-free. My mom's like, where do you want to go to celebrate? I'm like, let's go somewhere tropical. And then pilot hopped on the intercom and started talking about me, and I was like, what is going on here?
My wife beat cancer too, and I wanted to celebrate his special moment.
That's Bill, a real United pilot.
We brought him drinks and donuts. We all signed a card.
I was smiling ear to ear. Best flight ever for sure.
That's how good leads the way.
Lowe's knows that saving is always top of mind, especially this season. That's why we've picked some great deals for early Black Friday. Get free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit. More tools? Why not? Plus, we've got select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $59.98 because it's never too early to think Christmas. Get Black Friday prices without the crowds. Lowe's, we help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Yeah, what's happening? We bout to bring that action. Gotta hold it down for my Seattle Kraken. Ay, we going beneath the waves. We going beneath the waves. Get it hype, step onto the ice. Ready for some action. Release the Kraken. Ay, we going beneath the waves. Going beneath the waves.
What's up, everyone, and welcome into the Beneath the Waves podcast, your weekly recap of all things Seattle hockey and beyond. I am Matt.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Derek. Before we get going on this week's very tragic breakdown of Kraken hockey, I would like to take a few seconds to shout out BTW's own Heather. She last wrote a new article for the Hockey News Women's on October 23rd, highlighting PWHL Seattle's inaugural season jersey reveal. Heather also crushed it with her boots on the ground coverage during the unveiling of PWHL Seattle's official name, which is the, drumroll please, Seattle Torrent. How are we feeling about the new name?
The way that you say torrent makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Hey, it's better than Torrent. Okay, that's what I really want to say.
Torrent?
Anyway, the name I love. It keeps growing on me more and more. I think it's a very unique and tough TUFF name. The logo I was kind of bummed on at first, but that's been growing on me too the more that I see it.
What is the logo?
So it's like
An S?
an S-shaped wave, and then it says torrent diagonally across it.
Okay. I didn't know that was supposed to be a wave.
I mean,
Well, it's water.
It's water in the shape
makes
of an
sense.
S. And they have
yeah.
many graphics breaking down the elements of their logo, so go give those a look.
Yep.
I think that the name is cool. Like I said, the watermark that they have is pretty slick. I like how the watermark looks. I definitely went into the PWHL shop and ordered a shirt and a hoodie that'll hopefully be coming soon. We'll see about that. But yeah,
so they
it's
are
definitely-
selling merch with
Oh,
the
yeah.
logo on this
Yeah,
season?
you can get
Okay,
stuff
that's
down.
awesome.
They have it at KCI. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple.
Oh, that
tweets.
is dope.
It's
I was
actually stuff you
wondering
can
if
go
that's
get
what they were
some.
going to do.
Well, they were way quicker than, the NHL shop dropping the third jersey for the Kraken. That's still not
Yeah,
available.
PWHL knows what's up.
Like they had the announcement
Seriously.
on Thursday, and then you could walk from Mopop to the Armory, the Kraken store there, and they had stuff already available to buy.
So they actually they announced the name and the logo, and then I think within 5 minutes I checked the PWHL shop Canada and they had it available. Like that's how quick they had it.
Yeah, we have no excuse. Y'all have no excuse if you're listening to. You got to get dripped out in these, what is it? Torrent? Like an I, not an E.
Yeah,
Torrent.
Oh,
sure.
it's an E. It's
Okay.
literally an E in there.
Torrent. Okay.
I
go
did
get
not
dripped
anticipate
out.
the pronunciation being our
Okay.
problem here.
Really? Have you ever listened to me record one of these?
Every week for 43 weeks.
It'd be hooked
Go-
on phonics, but okay.
Go cop some Torrent merch. Okay, go get dripped out. Okay, anyways.
Alex didn't say what he thought of it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I love it. I think it's great. I like the name. I really do. Logo, I think I'm starting to really come into it. Like at first I was like, but I really like the fact that all Seattle sports teams have some form of C attachment to it. So I think it's going to be something that's really going to vibe well, not just with the PWHL, but I think with like Seattle sports in general. So I think it's gonna be something that we're gonna really like moving forward, and I think it's gonna be an all-time classic down the line.
Yeah, I think it fits into the genre of the water-based and the rain-based. I think there's a, I mean, you look at this recording group right here. Got me who's Seattle-based and you guys who are not Seattle-based. And I'm the one who does not know how to pronounce this because we do not get this. We don't get torrential downpour. We don't get torrents around here. So that's the one thing I would say. But in terms of like water-based, it being badass, I agree. The name's starting to like definitely come around on me. And yeah, the logo's dope. So all that being said, make sure to go drop a follow on Heather's account at Heather Nicole with no E to stay up to date as she covers training camp and the upcoming puck drop on the inaugural season, which happens on November 21st, 2025 in Vancouver against, drum roll please, Vancouver. They're called the Golden Eyes. Heather will continue to provide updates as episodes that we will publish on BTW right here. And you can also find her work for the Hockey News Women's in our show notes. Also go follow us on BTW SEA because we're good for PWHL content, discussions about the team, and even sometimes breaking news. Back to you, Matt.
All right, we are now on episode 44 of the BTW pod. On this week's episode, we're going to catch up on the last week of Kraken games. We're going to check in on all of the Kraken news that has gone down, and we will also preview the week ahead. Now we're going to try this again. Let's see how it goes. As we have come to do to start the podcast each week, it is time to do what, Derek?
Money, puck around and find out.
See, I thought maybe like if you started saying it, he'd get on board. I don't think that's.
I'm more on board with it now, I guess.
All right, it's like the torrent logo. It's slowly growing on you.
Torrent.
All right, Alex, what is our current money puck status?
Fuck yeah. So it's 50.6% of the Seattle Kraken making the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we've hit the, if you're in Canada, technically speaking, I don't know how the Americans grade their systems, but like you would pass, like, because 50, like 50, yeah, 50 is like that, like you just survived. So like, congratulations, Seattle, you're passing. You're getting that D minus, and you're making it into the playoffs at the moment. But like, there's still work to be done. But I think color me shocked. It's I did not expect this team to have a 50.6% chance of making the Stanley Cup playoffs in November. I don't know if I'm the only one there, but a lot of promise. And I think, the way that they've continued to play kind of just, really reiterates the fact that this team can compete this year. And the Pacific is wide open. If you haven't looked at the conference or the division, and checked out the standings, it's a hot pile of chaos and garbage.
All right. Well, our current status in that hot pile of chaos, or however you just described it, is the Kraken
Garbage.
currently sitting at 7 wins, 4 losses, and 4 overtime losses. Is a real mixed bag week. We had a 6-1 thrashing from the San Jose Sharks. We had a 4-3 overtime win against the Blues, and a toughly battled 2-1 loss to the Dallas Stars, which continues our back-to-back curse that we started last season. We'll get into some specifics about the games here in a minute, but in terms of just our vibes and how we're feeling about the squad, where are you staying at right now?
Well, like Alex so delicately put, we are, in the midst of a battle in the Pacific. Really, across a lot of the NHL this year, a lot of weird stuff's going on in terms of, who's potentially going to the playoffs, who's not. Pacific has got to be the craziest out of all of them, I think, right now. You just look at the standings and like everyone's at like 16 points or 17 points. It's like, what is going on? So yeah, just high level. Alex put that perfectly. Like I don't know if it's garbage and horrible or if it's like really good parody, which I like parody, so that's good. Now, high level stuff. Okay, things are about to get really trippy. Like, this is about to be the Twilight Zone. Okay, on BTW here. I want to say, first and foremost, this is all predicated on 2 things: 1, money puck, and 2, money puck's expected goals model. Okay, so bear with me here. I ran some numbers for the even strength and all situations for the Kraken. Okay. I did 4 different categories. The first is goaltending, which is measured by goals saved above expected. The second is defensive structure, which is measured by expected goals against. The third is finishing, which is measured by goals scored above expected. And the fourth is offense structure, which is expected goals for. Okay. I'm just going to run through and give you the even strength and the all situations for each of these. So for goaltending, even strength, we're 9th in the league for in goals saved above expected. In all situations, including adding even strength into it, we're 29th in the league. That what in the world? How is that even possible? We add a little bit of like special teams in there, and now we're like last in the league almost. In goaltending alone, you isolate the goalie. This is goal saved above expected, something that we thrive at in 5v5. But really, like Matt said before the show, Lindgren stopped taking penalties because this is not good. This is not good. Move on to defense structure. Even strength, we're 11th in the league in expected goals against. Unreal number, playoff team number. In all situations, you guys want to guess? Matt, what's your guess?
28.
Alex?
31st.
First in the league.
What the?
What in the world? This is the Twilight Zone. What in the world is going on? What is all situations? Kraken are first in the league in expected goals against. All situations. What? Okay. So that's some dope Lane Lambert defensive structure. Defensive structure, we are objectively first in the league according to Money Puck. Okay, now we move to offense stuff. Finishing, right? Goals scored above expected. Even strength, we're 19th. All situations, we're 15th. So still kind of creeping into that like playoff level of finishing. Okay, now we're at the really big problem, the sore spot here. Even strength for offensive structure, which is measured by me in expected goals for, we're 32nd in the league. And in all situations, we're also 32nd in the league. So it's not looking good offensively at all.
No.
But if you wanted to, so here are 2 true statements. Number 1, in all situations, the Kraken's defense is best in the league. And number 2 is in all situations, the Kraken's offense is worst in the league.
So what you're telling me is we are a perfectly mid team, as
perfectly
we've been saying
mid
for years.
16th, right down the middle.
We are so mid. It's insane. What the?
Yeah, I had to break everyone's brains with that because what in the world? Yeah, I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I know that was a lot of numbers, but unreal.
How do I even vibe check after that? Like you just like seriously like galaxy brain that. Now my brain is literally galaxy brained exploding. Like I don't even know how to like. Okay, bring it back to a vibe check. I don't know how to do it, dude.
You broke Alex.
Oh man. Okay. Wow.
Do you want me to go and you can gather your brain?
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I gotta just okay. Yeah, vibe checking on this. Yeah. I think I don't think anyone really expected the team to be 7-4-4, like you kind of mentioned at the start, Matt. Like it's kind of crazy to think. They can win on any night, they can lose on any night. It seems any team that we play is beatable, but any team we play against is a losable game as well. We desperately need Jared McCann back. Like for the love of God, we need him back, considering, Derek's mentioning our ability to shoot the puck and score on net is at an all-time 32, 32nd in the league. So we need McCann, or I'm even in favor of obtaining another goal scoring threat via trade routes at this point, because why not? But yeah, and the way I kind of go back to the whole like the Pacific Division being absolute chaos, the friggin' Edmonton Oilers got absolutely stomped on Saturday night, 9-1. So like this team has been in the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years, and like that's a team in our division, and they are like a point or two behind us as well. Like it's just chaos. Like we're going to talk about it really soon, but like we got stomped by the Sharks. Like, but that's so typical in Kraken fashion. It's always the Sharks, no matter what. I don't know. Like But my vibe check, honestly, is like I'm just enjoying the ride because I think all of us had this, like, realistic. We all had this expectation that this team was going to be, you know, mid to, bottom of the barrel, so to speak. And the fact that you know, we're what, 15 games into the season, and we about 20% in the season, and we are in a Stanley, we're in a playoff spot. It's something to talk about, and it's like, okay, well, this is something to look forward to, and we do have a lot of injuries that we're also going to be mentioning as well. So there's a lot of positives, but at the same time, I'm like, we need to score goals, and that's driving me absolutely nuts. So vibe check, I'm like pretty much happy, happy down the middle. I'm still trying to process, my mind being blown because Derek decided to just, take it up like 300 levels to do so.
I like the just going along for the ride. I'm feeling that. It's a good time to be a Kraken fan, and I think we need to look at that sunny side of things. One thing that's been standing out to me that I've really been digging, and I'm sure it'll make Derek's skin crawl to hear this, but the old guys, the dads of the team, being at the top of the points. You have Jordan Eberle, who currently has, oh, I lost it. Jordan Eberle with 5 goals and 6 assists, and Jaden Schwartz with 5 goals and 6 assists. Those guys are 35 and 33 years old, which is Derek's kind of 32
One
is
last
his time
hurrah.
to launch people into the sun. So I'm glad that those two guys are doing good, especially Ebbs being at the top, given the season that he had last year. Love seeing him kind of come back into form with that. And then we have kind of all over the board contributing here. We had Ryan Winterton get his first ever NHL goal. That was pretty hype. That was probably the only upside about the Sharks game. But it's always good to see those baby squids get. Oh, Alex is dying. Or I just told a really good joke. I don't know. He was either laughing hysterically or choking on something.
No, air went down the wrong pipe,
That
and
looked
like,
really bad for a second.
That's
yeah,
it.
everything kind of like started seeing colors, and it was bad.
Oh yeah, colors. That's really a bad sign that you're not
Yeah,
doing well.
I normally don't see colors.
Echoing Jared McCann, please come back soon. We're gonna get into
sorry, just got that. I started seeing colors. I normally see colors.
Dude, that was like 10 minutes ago.
It's on the delay.
Sorry.
Jared McCann, please do come back soon. We miss you dearly and want you back on the team. And yeah, just like we said, I'm here to enjoy the ride. So let's keep riding this train. Breaking down some specifics from these games, what's becoming kind of the bummer to start every little breakdown with is our injury update. We had one positive in that Riker Evans returned against the Blues, and in that game he scored a goal, and I think he had an assist too, so that's pretty exciting. Jared McCann still out on IR with a lower body injury. When Coach Lambert was asked if McCann would be ready to return soon, he replied with not so much. So that's not very reassuring. And we are also dealt a huge gut punch this week when it was announced that Joey Daccord was being placed on IR with an upper body injury following the Sharks game, meaning that he's going to be missing at least 2 more games. We'll have to wait and see. But gotta wonder with Joey having some kind of injury if that's what led to that abysmal Sharks game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know we talked in the group chat about, how we've been talking about how this is bound to happen, but that was one of my first thoughts too. Actually, it was a shower thought I had where I was like, oh God, that's why he had that game and maybe even a couple others this year. I know he had 2 other games where he allowed 5 goals on 18 shots or less. So I think he's had 3 games this year where he's allowed 5 goals on 20 shots or less, 2 of which he was pulled in. So yeah, that's not good, obviously. Joey needs to get healthy, but the silver lining here, if you want to be an optimist like Matt, is that we are getting, we're forced to get valuable info on who our backup should be. And that might be the silver lining here. Maybe out of this, we learn that we can trust one or both of these guys to play them more, because you're not going to do that just for funsies. Like when you're having the best start in your franchise history, but when your hand is forced, this is the time where we could see, oh, we're still able to win starting Matt Murray, or we're still able to win starting Philip Grubauer. So yeah, that might be a good thing. Other thing I wanted to note is just how funny it is for Coach Lane Lambert to be like, not so much, just like, nah, not really, no, he's not coming back. Like, bro, like that's so like candid and honest. Like, I just love it. I love, yeah, I love that answer just because it's like so real. But obviously hate it because of what it means. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, this week was, I don't know, it's so typical. This is like the last 3 games we played were so typical Seattle in Seattle fashion. Like being blown up by the Sharks, that's so typical. Like I even said that before the game. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna lose to the Sharks and it's gonna be a blowout. Stayed up to watch it. I'm like, why am I watching this? I knew this was gonna happen. Beating the Blues in what in such fashion was incredible. And then the Stars game was great, but it's back to back, so it's not shocking. But realistically, this all comes down to injuries. Like, Joey just, we talked about it last week. Like, how long can Joey Decord play before something happens? And the wheels fell off, and hopefully it's not too bad. So this issue can get resolved much quicker, and we won't have another hiccup, down the line. I mentioned it before. We desperately need Jared McCann. That's one that we definitely need. And then, seeing Riker Evans come back to the fold was really great. Definitely is an extra piece to have on the back end that, I think a lot of people forgot about with him being out. And so, you slot him back in and you're like, oh, this is great. So lots of positives. I don't have a lot of negatives. It's been kind of nice to like talk about this over the last couple of weeks and be like, there's not a lot of negatives. And yeah, with Joey being out, my first reaction was, oh, you know what? This is not good. And my first initial thought was, okay, so we're gonna have a tandem of Grubauer and Murray. Okay. Let's see what happens. And realistically speaking, Grubauer wins it against the Blues. Awesome. He played pretty good. I'm not gonna complain. And I still think Matt Murray played fantastic against the Stars. So like we're still kind of in this weird predicament where the Kraken are going to have to make a decision as to who their backup's going to be. And yeah, I just think that's going to be an interesting little call when that decision has to be made down the line.
Hockey is back, and this season, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action you love. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. I'm going to jump a little bit out of order with our notes here because we pretty much touched on it pretty thoroughly there. But just if you want to add anything else on, and that's the goalie talk. And with Joey being placed on IR, we got our first true look at the two guys fighting for the backup spot. I called it goalie auditions on our Twitter. Against the Blues, Grew allowed 3 goals on 19 shots for an .842 save percentage. And then against the Stars, Matt Murray allowed 2 goals on 24 shots for a .917 save percentage. Small sample size. We're going to have more opportunities to come. For sure, at least 2 more games this week. What do you think of these 2 performances? And do you feel any closer to naming a confirmed number 2?
Yes, I think we're closer. I think Matt Murray has the edge for sure. That's not just in Alex is right. Gru did get the win, but
by the
yeah,
skin of our teeth.
yeah, and Murray's numbers have just been better. Like I think Murray's start before that, Matt said it was like a 930 something save percentage, and I think Gru's last game, Gru had played before this last game, right? I think he also had like a 800 something, or maybe even worse.
The game that we played against Washington, Murray had a 909, and then he had a 920 in this last game.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So those are both good. I think Murray has the edge. I don't think he's necessarily run away with it yet. They kind of still had the same year last year, so I think either of them could emerge. But man, Gru really needs to like. This is the time, Gru, to like show your stuff, bro. Like talking playoffs, like playoffs against the Avs type stuff. You need to start showing where you're just flying around the crease, kicking everything away, doing the JDAX Scorpion save type stuff. Like you got to get it going.
I will
But
say
yeah.
the goals that Gru let in, so many of those weren't on him. Like one went off Larson's skate.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, one was Ryan Winterton just doing an abysmal turnover right in front of the net instead of passing it up the boards. So I think he
That's
gets a
the other
pass on
thing
a little
is
bit
like
there.
that's the other thing is like that's why I've remained such a big Gru defender throughout the years. It's because I feel like you can literally go and watch every single goal and be like, bro, this isn't on him, bro, this isn't on him, bro. And like there are
Yeah.
so many that are like that.
So when I look at the two goaltenders, I'm not I'm not going into this being like one or the other. Like if I'm going on, there's like a lot of things that I'm looking at because both goaltenders have played relatively well. Like that's just from what I've seen with my eyes. Now they've both played 3 games apiece by like record keeping. Grubauer has a win and an overtime loss, whereas Matt Murray has 2 losses. Um, you know, goals against average. Uh, Murray has a 2.73. Grubauer has a 2.48. So, Grubauer has the upper hand on this. But then the save percentage is where it really comes into light here. Matt Murray has a 918. Philip Grubauer has a 875. So like we're kind of still the biggest issue that we're still dealing with now is that as a backup goaltender, you need to have the stats to back up the fact that like we're going to need you in certain times and in a run. So in the times that like perhaps Decord needs a rest, you're going to want a goaltender that's reliable. And I'm not saying that Grubauer is not reliable. He's brought in 3 points this season, but when you look at that save percentage, it has been a recurring thing since he joined the Kraken in the inaugural season. And that's where I get a little nervous around because think about it in a way that, like, say the Kraken in February are in a playoff spot, Joey goes down, but Grubauer is your backup in this situation, but his numbers are horrible, and all of a sudden the Kraken's chance of making the playoffs absolutely tank.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's just another thing that you could look at and be like, well, we've seen this before. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
Matt Murray, it could easily happen with Matt Murray. I'm not saying it's just a Grubauer thing,
Yeah.
but the numbers itself, like I lean more heavily to Matt Murray. Also,
Yeah.
with the fact that the salary cap, it's not going to have any effect because of Grubauer's high cap that he's making. We're not going to save anything if we send him down, but the likelihood of waivers far exceeds the possibility. If you send Matt Murray down, the chances of him being claimed off of waivers is probably high.
Mm-hmm.
You send Grubauer
Right.
down, nobody's touching him.
Yeah, that's true. With the
And
contract.
so when I look at this, I think out of the two, Matt Murray is going to be the backup, not just because of salary, but I think he's just more reliable down the stretch.
Yeah, I also pulled up on Money Puck their expected goals, or like their goals saved above expected. Grubauer is the worst among the 3 goalies. So Joey's actually at negative 1.4 right now. Grubauer's at negative 1.5, but on way less games, obviously.
Mhm.
And Matt Murray's actually at positive 1.1. So Murray and Gru have both allowed 6 goals through 3 games. But Murray's had 7.1 expected goals against, and Grizzly had 4.4 expected goals against. So like they're not equal, and Murray does have a huge edge. I also remember something that might kind of inflate Murray's goals against average is when Joey got pulled in the Sharks game. Murray came in, and the first shot that Murray faced was a breakaway.
Yeah.
That scored, and but it's like he's not warmed up. Like he instantly comes in, and then he has to face I don't even know who it was on the breakaway, but probably some Sharks lethal offense. Like the Sharks
Yeah,
offense
wasn't
is
it?
nasty.
Yeah, because it was like the Sharks. One of the Sharks player had a breakaway. Murray
Yeah.
saved it, and then I think it was Delandria banked it in off a rebound. I think that's what happened.
I think the first goal against Murray was. It might have been actually.
Yeah.
You might be right.
But still,
I feel
you're
like I
not
remember
expecting
being
him to
so.
save that. He's coming in cold. So
Right,
like,
exactly.
I still, yeah, like argument for the sake of argument, I and everyone's gonna say this because I've been more vocal regarding Grubauer, but like all the stats and all the numbers are indicating that it's probably your safer bet down the stretch to bring and keep Matt Murray as your number 2.
100%.
The goal is Tyler Toffoli, by the way,
Okay.
that scored on Murray.
So I was just rewatching. Toffoli's goal on Murray was just a snipe. The Delandria rebound one was still Joey. That was the 5th goal. The 6th goal was against Murray. And it was the first shot Murray faced. And it was just an instant breakaway by Toffoli. And it's like, how are you going to fault Murray for that?
Let's talk about a slightly better game here with the St. Louis Blues and just a comeback for the ages from the Kraken. Latest game-tying goal in franchise history. Previously, it was held by Eli Tolvanen with like 28 seconds left in a game, I believe. There was some controversy in this goal as it was reviewed to see if Jordan Eberle committed goaltender interference. Lucky for us, no one knows what goaltender interference means, so the goal stood and we were off to bonus hockey, where other BTW favorite Shane Wright was the hero of the game, putting in the goal to seal it. It was nice to get an overtime win and not get another point in that column. This game, like I went back and watched bits and pieces of it in the highlights after. This was a fun one. It was a nail biter down to the end. I liked seeing people on Twitter being like, okay, can we give Chandler Stevenson his flowers now? Like he did really well in that game. We're like, dude, we've been saying it for 16 months now. Stevie stand up and unite. Yeah, he's sometimes awful, but sometimes he does really good stuff. And this was a great last second shot that snuck by. Maybe some shenanigans to make it go in, but hey, a goal's a goal, and those Blues fans on Twitter can be butthurt about it.
Oh yeah, I'm not sad about that call because so many go either way, and there's just no one has any concept of what goaltender interference is. According to my own personal definition, though, yeah, come on, that should have been interference. But yeah, I also wasn't able to watch the game, so pretty much all I saw was that clip of the interference and the tying goal. But yeah, awesome that we were able to scrape some points away from this 3-game stretch that we're talking about. So
yeah, when it comes to Kraken games, this was definitely an exciting one. Probably in the last 5 minutes, I'll say it was an exciting one. I didn't think they were gonna win. The fact that they tied it with 0.5 seconds left is shocking to say the least. And then Shane Wright winning it in overtime definitely woke up the whole house when that happened. So that does happen. But yeah, no, it's nice to put 2 points on the board opposed to the single digits. So single 1 point. So yeah, I know I'm pretty happy about it. But I always mention one of the Blues players, Jordan Kyrou.
He has our number.
He has our number, but I also slightly frustrating because I know he was involved in trade talks during the offseason with the Kraken. I'm glad that they didn't trade for him because I do know that it was rumored that the Kraken were possibly going to be dangling their first round draft pick for him, which would have been Jake O'Brien. So I'm glad that we ended up keeping that pick. So, but yeah, no, he definitely has our number, and hopefully we can figure out a way to stop that from happening.
As well with the St. Louis game, I saw a tweet that says this was a game of firsts. So I just picked out a few things for you here. It was the team's first comeback win of the season, so that's exciting. We love to see that. This was the first game, goal, and multi-point game of the season for Riker Evans coming off of that injury, so that's exciting. It was the first goal and three-point game of the season for Tolvey. I was just ecstatic to see that Tolvey scored. I was getting real worried that he just disappeared off the face of the planet and wasn't showing up in games at all. So really glad. Hopefully he gets some confidence boost off of that. And this was also the first overtime game-winning goal in the NHL for Shane Wright. What do you guys think on the performances of these guys, or if there's anyone else that really jumps out at you?
No, yeah, definitely seeing Tolby get on the board was a huge sigh of relief for me as well, because he's one of the most integral players to our offense, which does need a huge facelift at the moment. So Tolby, and obviously, like we talked about, McCann coming back in, but Tolby getting hot is huge. Love seeing Shane Wright get that overtime winning goal too. Completely forgot about that as well. Absolute snipe too. Oh my God, dude, that was nasty. I just heard Heather in my head as I watched it. But yeah, those are probably both my favorites.
Shane Wright getting a game-winning goal, can't complain whatsoever. Hopefully that gives him a little bit more confidence because we definitely need that goal scoring prowess right now. So that's one. Tolvey, him getting that first goal of the season is huge, especially from the fact that he was second in goals scored for the Kraken last year. So yeah, this offense needs to figure it out, and hopefully those two guys can start contributing a little bit more as we progress through the season.
All right. And the last thing I wanted to talk about here, we touched on it over the last couple weeks as well, but Sunday's game against the Stars marked Berkly Catton's 10th NHL game of the season, meaning that they are now all in on Berkly Catton, the little cat, as his first year of his entry-level contract has been activated. We've been wondering since the preseason what was going to happen with him, and now here we are. How do you feel about this move now that it has finally come to be?
I like it. I like it from a couple different angles or perspectives. I touched on it the last episode, but kind of just I was talking with actually one of my icebreakers teammates on the ice crew, and he was talking about how burning that first year isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I completely agree with that. We did. I said this last week, but we did this with Beniers, and it worked out just fine. Hopefully, Catton becomes like an absolute demon, but not until like a year or two from now, right after we've got him like tendered to a nice long deal, just like Beniers, and making that window sort of like a lot shorter will help with that. We have less years of Catton, like Catton nearing his prime, maybe, whereas like if you let that 3 years go, he might be like 22, 23 by the time we sign the contract. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that out of the way first. Secondly, he's been doing good. He's been fitting in as an NHL player. And, we've been winning and getting points with him in the lineup. And the third thing is like, who else are you going to put there right now? Like, genuinely, like, what are the names? I think that's important context for anyone listening. Like, what are those names that could be going there instead of Catton? Like, Alex, is it some of your Firebird friends, or like what's going on?
God no. God no. Honestly, like it kind of echoes into like how I kind of see the fact that why they burned that first year. I think burning it sounds so like wrong. It sounds dirty. Like it seems like it's like something that they did wrong, to be honest. Like,
That's why I purposely put like we activated
yeah,
the
I was gonna
first year of his
say that sounds
contract.
so much better.
I'll
because,
always say burn.
because like NHL, like they always were like, well, they're gonna burn his first year of his entry level contract, and I'm like, no, like they activated it. Like when you really look at it, Berkly Catton is better than any of the Coachella Valley Firebirds. It's just the truth. Like he's too good for the WHL. He's teetering on too good for the AHL, but he's still figuring his game out in the NHL. I have no problem with the fact that they decided to, utilize him and play his 10th game of the season, so kicking in the contract, I have no problem with it because he's ready for the NHL. I just hope that they don't put him on like the fourth line and give him low minutes. Like, I think he's shown in those 10 games that he can play up and down the lineup. Like, he's played first line minutes, he's played second line minutes, he's played third line minutes, and if we need him to play fourth line minutes, he can play fourth line minutes. But the kid's ready, and I just hope that I hope they just play him, because I have a feeling he's going to probably go to the World Juniors in December. That's something that I'm pretty guaranteed it's going to happen, depending on where the roster's at and how injuries are looking for the Kraken. But I think he could definitely be a guy that goes to the juniors, possibly even captains the team. That's just the feel I have for him. Get more experience and then come back and keep playing. Like, they've done the 10 games, they've done the 9 games. Like, just play them now, because like, what's the worst? Like, what's the worst case scenario? Like,
we
you're not
lose a lot of games.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to send them down. Like, there's no way. There's at no point they're going to send them down to juniors now. So
yeah, we're never going to be losing a game because we're playing Catton over like random NPC Firebird, who I literally like. Do we have any names? I'm still on that. I'm still on that bent. Like, can we get a name? Alex, is there a name?
You kind of walked away when I said it, but I said Berkly Catton is better than any Firebird player right now. In my opinion.
But that's so abstract. I don't know. Are there any names?
Like,
I need a name.
I'm just saying, like, you guys got like Yager Furcus, you got Leighton Road, got like.
But even like
Road.
when we
Logan
kind of talked about
Morrison,
this last week,
John Hayden.
when Jared McCann comes back,
Yeah,
you're gonna bump Ryan Winterton or Ben Myers. When Freddie comes back, you're gonna bump the other guy, and Berkly Catton's gonna hang around because you're paying him now.
100%. But
Right.
then I also think that depending on the situation, when all those guys are healthy, and if we have a healthy squad, depending where we are at in the standings, it could be like, okay, we aren't doing good. Like, who's to say in like, end of December? We're talking like a month and a half from now. So like, anything could happen. This team could be very very secured in a playoff spot, or we can be in a completely 180 turn where we're like, yeah, okay, well, that first month was really nice, but we're struggling now. Like, you could easily see that, the Kraken and Botterill be like, okay, like, we're in a position where we're not going to make the playoffs and it's already kind of guaranteed at the end of December. Let's trade off some guys and we're just going to bump Catton up to the first or second line and just play him.
Yeah,
we could be in December and be like, okay, yeah, we are in a playoff position and we are pushing. Catton's been absolutely tearing it up. He's going to be playing second or first line minutes. We might even trade a guy to get out of, get him out and maybe bring in another guy to help him even further. So like you both mentioned, there's no harm in playing him at this point. He's not going to be the reason why we win or lose a game.
Yeah. So the names are like Leighton Road, Yager Furcus,
Logan Morrison, you got Yager Furcus, you got John Hayden. Like,
and then one more thing is that Matt said that like when these other guys come back, these better guys that are like veterans, when they come back and we're deciding who to send down, if we send down Catton to the AHL, do we still pay him the NHL salary?
But I thought we can't send him down.
We can't send him down to the
AHL.
Oh,
yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Or if we send him to the WHL, can we do?
Well, regardless,
can we do that once we've ELC'd? I'm lost in the sauce.
You can technically send him down to the WHL, but it'd be useless. Like,
do we still pay him the $900K if he's playing in the WHL, or is it two-way?
You've burned the. I'm not too sure. I'm going to be honest.
I know the year is burned, which is kind of my point. It's more that the year is burned. I don't think necessarily that we're going to be paying him no matter what. I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure. I'm going to be honest with you on that.
I have to look into that.
So it might be the same. It might be the same as Winterton, etc. So I don't know if we're necessarily going to keep Catton in.
Yeah, but yeah. I just think Catton is better than a good portion of players on the Kraken already. Like, that's just my take. And I know the kid's young, but like,
definitely better than Leighton Road.
Poor Leighton Road just keeps catching strays from us every week because he's the most obscure name we can pull. I'm gonna start calling out Yakov Novak. That's gonna be
Yeah,
my
there we
new
go.
throwaway
No,
name.
no offense to Leighton if he's a fan of the show. We're just, it's Berkly Catton, man. It's not, no one's as good as him.
All right. Derek, to round out this week, we did have one home game. Do you have a shovel story from the miserable game against the Sharks? I mean, if you don't, that's
I'm
fine.
trying to think, and I think I literally just deleted the memories from that game, like
We won't
from
even
my
bother talking
mind.
about that.
It was the first regulation loss of the year. So my shovel story is just gonna be that in our lock.
Didn't we
Oh,
wear the Abyss jerseys that game? Or was that a different one?
we did. Wait, yeah, we did. Yeah,
So do you have
those
anything
looked.
after
Yeah,
seeing them in
those.
person?
Yeah, the Abyss jerseys looked really good in person. Um, yeah, that's definitely. And we wore like our own. We also wore like an Abyss get up of like black on
Nice.
black. So that was cool. And then the biggest thing though was we got slaughtered out there, and then in our locker room after the game too, like it's similar. It's not like a player locker room, but the vibes kinda like when there's a win, it's all like happy and stuff, and I love it. And that's been or like even an overtime loss, like oh yeah, we're chipper and we're good. Mainly me, when we lose, it's like not good. It's like really bad vibes.
Snapping a shovel over your knee.
Yeah, screaming in the locker room. Nah, but it was just a little quiet. Everyone's just, quiet, taking off all their stuff, getting out of there, hitting the monorail, getting on the train, going home. So I don't like losses for that reason. Oh, shovel story too. Pre-game, shout out to my boy Dyson, like the vacuum, who's also the guy I talked about who fell a couple times in a game. He brought a chessboard with a clock, and we ran chess before the Kraken game. But I guess that's bad luck because we got slaughtered in the game. So I don't know if we're gonna do that again.
Just a real mixed bag of shovel stories. All right, well, we will have ample opportunities to get more shovel stories out of Derek because the Kraken come home for every game this week. Isn't that right, Alex?
Yeah, they're staying put in Seattle. They're not going anywhere. They're not going on a plane or on a boat or on a train. Well, they might, but they're staying put in Seattle. So their 3 games this week. They're playing the Blue Jackets on Tuesday. They're playing the Jets on Thursday, and then on Saturday we are having a rematch against the Sharks. So it's going to be a fun-filled adventure of chaos over the next week in Seattle at home.
What's your point projections?
Beat the Blue Jackets. Overtime loss to the Jets. Get spanked by the Sharks.
I genuinely feel like we could go 0-3 or 3-0 through these 3 games. And I have no idea how to feel about that. I
3 overtime losses.
Maybe. So I'll just try to use my prophetic wisdom. Tuesday we win. Thursday we win. And Saturday we win. Okay, we're gonna go 3-0-0. We're gonna go 3-0-0, and you should listen to me because last pod I said we're probably gonna get 1 to 2 points out of those 3 games, and we got 2 points. Okay, so listen to me. 3-0-0.
All right, I like your positivity. I'm going to piggyback on it. 3-0. No, I'm going to say 2-0-1. We're going to OTL to the Jets.
That's valid.
All right, Alex, before we get out of here, can you give us a super quick rundown on what's going down in Coachella Valley?
Absolutely. Coachella Valley, the Firebirds are still 7th in the Pacific Division with a record of 5-4-2. So they have a winning record. If you look at the overtime losses, like, okay, well, they got points from it, so we'll count it as a positive. Yager Furcus remains at the top of the leaderboard with 4 goals and 7 assists. And the Birds have also 3 games this week. So they do play on Tuesday, November 11th against the Bakersfield Condors. And then Saturday and Sunday, Saturday they play the Condors again. And then Sunday they are playing against the Canucks the Abbotsford Canucks. So, yeah. So they have 3 games this week. You never know what could happen. They could be 8-4-2 by the end of it.
All right, we'll just have to wait and see. But for us, that'll do it for this week. Derek, could you let everyone know where they can find more of BTW online?
I don't really feel like it. No, I'm just kidding. No, wait, what was the lane there? Not so much. No, not so much. Not so much. Absolutely, Matt. But first, I'd like to plug our store yet again. Go over to bit.ly/BTW store. We have a new designs, HK21 for Hillary Knight. PWHL season is starting soon. We got the Seattle Torrent that is absolutely set to dominate the PWHL this year with Hillary Knight HK21. So go grab some merch over at bit.ly/BTW store. We also have plenty of Kraken designs as well, including one that's even been featured on official Seattle Kraken merchandise in collaboration with Starbucks. Also, go check out our very own Heather's articles over in our show notes. There will be a link over to that. You can also follow at Heather Nicole with no E on X and at the Hockey News W on X to see more of her work. Also, keep your eyes on your podcast feed to see when she drops more PWHL episodes. Please also drop a follow and a 5-star review on the podcast app of your choice that you are currently listening to this on. And follow us on all socials. It helps us out a whole lot if you could take a second to like or comment on those videos. And I will leave you with this. There is almost no way to tell what is coming for this team after today. So keep up with this roller coaster of a year with us over at BTW SEA.
Snaps for that one. That's good.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
We going beneath the waves. Going beneath the waves.